WOUB.
Now at 6:30, Athens takes action to fight homelessness, how organizations and community members are working to find solutions.
Plus,
we had a very good talk.
Progress in talks between the U.S. and China, what these talks mean for the future of a trade deal between the two countries.
And the president bans travelers from 12 countries.
We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm.
While Trump says the ban is for security concerns, why some say he is cherry-picking countries. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Talia Milowich.
It's been another bright and sunny day here in Athens, but will it stick around?
For more, let's hand it over to forecaster Steve Nedlick. Steve?
Yeah, guys, we had a really interesting day weather-wise today. I mean, we started in the mid to upper 80s, and we're all the way down to 77. And we did have some clouds move into the area. So right now, we started clear, but now we're at mostly cloudy. Now, the culprit for that is this system that has slowly been making its way across our area throughout the day today. It's brought colder weather and a little bit of rain with it so far. More rain up north and down south. We've kind of dodged it so far, so fingers crossed that keeps up, but it has dumped a lot of rain in some places. Now, this is really interesting. Taking a look, we see that Athens is still at 83, or was still at 83 as of at least 20, 30 minutes ago. But to our west, Dayton, still 74. They dropped off because that cold front moved through. Tonight, we're going to kind of drop off with them. We're going to go to 66, and that chance of thunderstorms is going to come in with that, so be on the lookout for that. And then when we go into tomorrow, jump right back up to mid-80s. So with that humidity that's going to come in with that front, it's going to be pretty sticky outside. Stay tuned for my full forecast.
Thanks, Steve. A Columbus man was convicted for leading a drug trafficking ring in Athens County. 37-year-old Sean Dwayne Aggie Jr. was found guilty of possession of cocaine, possession of a fentanyl-related compound, aggravated possession of drugs, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. Law enforcement investigations revealed Aggie led an operation trafficking cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamines, and other narcotics from Columbus to Athens. Aggie will be sentenced July 9th. City Hall, where the city's ad hoc committee is meeting for the second time this year.
The committee is made up of citizens tasked with guiding the city through their so-called December problem. This refers to only one council member having a term extending past November 30th, meaning no ordinances or resolutions can be passed.
There have been two proposed solutions to the problem, one involving two separate elections on the November ballot, one for a month-long term and the other for a full 2-year term.
The other proposed solution involves Councilmember Nancy Sonic, whose term extends into December. Under the current charter, Sonic could appoint a member to council, then those two members could appoint a third, and so on until all vacant seats are filled. Tonight's agenda features December problem planning and discussion about the new wards set to be proposed to council in July.
Athens County Children's Services is providing free lunches so that children don't go hungry over the summer.
Newswatch reporter Ty Carpenter has more.
With the slam of the trunk, a family leaves Trimble Elementary and Middle School with a week's worth of food.
To learn a little bit about what they're going through in their life and how I can help them is important to me.
Becky Handa is the outreach caseworker at Trimble, working with Athens County Children's Services. Growing up in Gloucester, Becky knows the struggles of her community firsthand.
I was raised by a single mom with lots of siblings, and I needed to utilize the community resources. So being able to give back and be in this community to make sure that the children and the families have the support that they need is invaluable to me.
According to the Southeast Ohio Food Bank, 1 in 6 people in Athens County face food insecurity. And during the summer, children are at more risk of going hungry.
To provide extra food for the family is extremely important to meet the needs during the summertime when the school's closed and the children don't have access to that free breakfast and lunch every day.
The project gives out a loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, and jelly to 100 families each week. Other organizations, like the Southeast Ohio Food Bank and Joe Burrow Foundation, are there giving out fresh produce, giving each family a week's worth of sandwiches and groceries. For a community in need, demand is high, and Hannah says there is no shame in asking for help.
I think when they see so many people coming out, it does reduce that stigma that we all need a little extra support sometime, and that's okay, and it's okay to ask for help.
Every Thursday until July 31st, with the exception of June 19th.
The project will be held at each of the following locations on your screen.
Department of Transportation to improve bicycle and pedestrian traffic safety. In Athens County, the street signs installed along Washington Street. This is just one of 44 projects funded through the Transportation Alternatives Program. Adams, Perry, Ross, and Washington counties will also receive funding for infrastructure projects. The program hopes to improve public safety and quality of life through transportation networks. The effort to build the first publicly run emergency shelter in Athens is getting a $2 million boost in funding that allows for an expansion of the project. It is part of a broader effort to address the issue of housing in the county. By next year, the old pool at the Sunset Motel will be transformed into a playground. This old storage building will become a recreational center, and the motel itself will have 31 rooms to support the unhoused in Athens.
We're going to be working with the shell of the property and then rebuilding back in really a complete overhaul of the existing structure.
Athens County has a serious housing problem. Housing stock is down, prices are up, and there isn't enough housing that Athens residents can afford. The Sunset Shelter is one way organizations in Athens are trying to deal with the issue of unhoused people.
Folks who are at the beginning of their journey to rebuilding their lives will be able to get some stability by having a place to call home.
The community as a whole is also talking more about the issue. Athens residents gathered for the Athens County Foundation's first ever community meeting about housing security.
People are paying attention to the lack of affordable housing in Athens County, and yes, I think if last night is any indication, people are willing to show up and put in their time and energy into helping create solutions.
Pigman sees these events as ways to get citizens involved in this fight and bridge divides across the community.
I think it's a gateway to volunteerism, and it's also an opportunity for people who are doing the work, nonprofit, government officials, to hear from the communities.
She hopes to hold these meetings quarterly and believes the community has a special motivation to fight this battle.
A lot of people have either direct experience with housing insecurity or know somebody who does, either through their work or through a personal relationship, and so I think that makes it all the more real.
If you want to get involved, you can go to the Athens County Foundation website, athenscountyfoundation.org. To sign up, go to the Project Co-Create tab. There is a link to go sign up for the Housing Security Project Co-Create group. You can sign up for information or become a part of a working group.
A new amendment could require recipients of the governor's scholarship to work in-state after graduation or be forced to pay it back. This is just one of hundreds of amendments senators proposed to the state's budget. Under the current scholarship program, students in the top 5% of their class are eligible for a $5,000 state scholarship for up to 4 years if they go to a college or university in-state. If the amendment passes, only students in the top 2% would qualify, and recipients would have to work in-state for 3 years after they graduate college. If they don't, they'd have to pay back the scholarship. Officials say the amendment would be hard to enforce if passed. Ohio House Minority Leader Allison Russo is stepping down from her position. Russo will serve through the end of June when the legislative session ends. She said she will continue to serve in the House, but will make way for new leadership to take over. While in office, she and House Democrats opposed issues like school vouchers and supported Ohio's workers. Russo is determined out and will be unable to run again after the General Assembly concludes next year. President Donald Trump held a long-awaited phone call with China's Xi Jinping. Today's call comes after a long period of silence between the leaders of the world's two largest economies. Sources say Chinese officials were wary of Trump's unpredictability and track record of putting foreign leaders in awkward situations.
We had a very good talk. and we've straightened out any complexity. It's very complex stuff, and we straighten it out. I think we have everything. I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal.
Trump regards securing a new agreement with Beijing both as a critical component of his broader trade agenda and a necessary follow-up from his first term, when trade deals with China got derailed during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Starting Monday, Donald Trump plans to ban travelers from a dozen countries. The ban is for nationals of Afghanistan, Myanmar, also known as Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Trump's proclamation partially restricts the entry of people from 7 other countries. Trump cites security concerns and says it's hard for the U.S. to vet visitors from these places.
As part of the role of the executive branch is to enforce the border laws of the country and to use discretion and judgment to protect the safety of Americans.
The ban doesn't apply to lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, and certain visa categories, It also allows exceptions when the Trump administration determines U.S. national interests are at stake.
Coming up, what experts are saying about the future of Tornado Alley and what it could mean for your insurance costs.
And more changes in FEMA's leadership, what critics are saying about the Department of Homeland Security's takeover.
The rain is here. Find out what that means for your weekend next.
We all want to know the best way to reduce our risk of being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, improve our memory, and keep our brains sharp. Luckily, there's good news. Science shows that engaging in lifelong learning can have a significant positive impact on our brain health. Please join best-selling author and Harvard-trained neuroscientist Dr. Lisa Genova for Supercharge Your Brain.
Tonight at 9:30 on WOUB.
Beyond the clamor of modern life, we're all searching for answers to life's biggest questions.
We begin to ask questions of the soul, what we believe, why we believe it.
We're all different in myriad ways, and yet here we are, sharing something.
We speak with leaders who have made it their life's work to examine and uncover the wisdom we all seek.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
The Ohio Art Corridor is a destination experience. We would like this to be the largest outdoor art gallery in the world.
Portsmouth was able to field an incredible team for a brief moment in the sun that almost was sweet enough to get them a national championship.
We got land granted to us in Ohio. Great opportunity. Let's go. How would you know you got here? It was just sheer determination and patience and just hard, back-breaking work.
The bridge was acclaimed at the time of being an engineering marvel.
Progress is all about taking the lessons of the past and doing better. So I would hope that now that we know better, we will do better.
We've had a really mixed bag kind of weather day today. As we started out really nice, upper 80s weather, really feeling like summer. And now we're sitting in the upper 70s. I mean, a 10-degree difference already, and those clouds have started to roll in. Now, again, a big reason for that is this low pressure system that has slowly crawled its way across our region, and that's started to dump all of this rain, all of these clouds into our area. So that's what we're gonna have to deal with going forward. Now, taking a look, it hasn't been necessarily widespread rain we've been dealing with. It's just been bits and pieces here and there. Now, that's a good thing because this widespread rain would be bad for a lot of places. Now it's just dropping an inch or two here, an inch or two there, but Athens so far has stayed pretty dry. Now, a big thing that is happening with this is we can really tell where this cold front has already moved through: Springfield 72, Wilmington 71, and where it hasn't moved through yet. And that's really just south of the Ohio River, still sitting at those summery-like temperatures. Now, with that, we have this air quality alert that is sitting, again, for south of the Ohio River. That's because of that smoke that's been trapped from those wildfires and doesn't really have anywhere to go. And it's just kind of getting cooked by that warm air that's still sitting down there. So that's why they have an air quality alert. And then taking a look Up here at Zanesville, they have a flash flood warning because, again, they got hit with a lot of rain and these pop-up showers. So we really are going to be tracking these as we head later into the night because these could pop up really anywhere. Now again, tonight, hopefully we stay dry, but we do have a chance of thunderstorms in the area, and we will get down to the mid-60s, so make sure you bring an umbrella if you have any plans going out tonight. Now, looking into tomorrow, this starts to become a little bit more widespread, but then it just stops. This front really just doesn't go anywhere after that, and it sits and it's going to set up shop for a majority of the weekend. Now, this cloud cover is very important for us because if these clouds break up, we could be in for a very, very violent weather day tomorrow. If it stays cloudy, we might just have a few rumbles of thunder and some strong winds. So this convective outlook could change depending on how much cloud cover we have. Now looking again into tomorrow, if the clouds do stay here, it's going to be about 82, 81, but if they break up, we could be at 85, 90 degrees again, which would be bad for some severe weather. Again, Saturday, it just starts to set up and dump a lot of rain on us all weekend long. We originally thought this was going to clear out by about Saturday afternoon, but now it looks like it's here for pretty much the long haul, and it might clear out by Sunday before we have something else fill in on Monday. So really be on the lookout for that, or we'll be on the lookout for that as we head into the beginning of next week. Now, Monday, again, 78, not too bad. We are keeping those temperatures up, but it's going to feel a lot like it did this week because we have all that moisture being pulled up from the south, so it's going to be really humid as we head into the beginning of next week. And hopefully we get some sunshine in our forecast again by the middle of next week. So we are going to really have to deal with a lot of rain over the next 5, 6, maybe even 7 days. So it's going to be an unpleasant weather.
An organization that buys insurance for counties in Ohio recently doubled their deductibles on claims for everything except auto.
The increases are part of an overall rise in insurance costs. Newswatch reporter Noah Cavan has more on what is driving more dangerous storms in Ohio.
Thanks, guys. There's been at least 24 tornadoes in Ohio each year in the last 6 years, and last year's mark of 74 shattered the previous record of 62 set in 1992. The increase marks a shift in Tornado Alley, which are areas of the United States that typically experience more tornadoes, and insurance rates are not projected to stop rising anytime soon. Last year, tornadoes caused more than $24 million in property damage in Ohio. Mark Friedlander, national spokesman for the Insurance Information Institute, says more severe convective storms, which are strong storms that can produce tornadoes, are expected to hit Ohio.
We've seen many tornado outbreaks in Ohio in the past few years. In fact, severe convective storms are the most expensive peril.
Nicholas Ferrari is the chief meteorologist at Wayne 15 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He says the strong storms are fueled by a warmer Gulf of Mexico.
If the predictions are that the Gulf continues to warm, that gives us even more energy down there. So if the source of that warm air to begin with is even hotter, that's going to just continue to fuel more ingredients, more of the right combination of factors to give us severe weather.
Wayne 15 covers 2 counties in Ohio that have been hit by frequent tornadoes, Van Wert and Mercer counties. 2 counties that, according to the county's Risk Sharing Authority, or CORSA's Property and Casualty Managing Director John Brownlee, are now in Tornado Alley.
As far as severe weather, we look at models. They're called predictive models. Those models are moving this way. Statistics are telling us that, hey, we're likely to have more claims than what we've had historically in the future.
Tornado Alley is shifting further east. We're seeing major tornado outbreaks now across the Midwest. Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio particularly. These result in larger loss events. And with the escalation in replacement costs, you have the ingredients for higher insurance.
Those increases are now hitting local governments in Southeast Ohio. CORSA, which buys insurance for Ohio county governments, doubled deductibles on every claim except auto claims from $2,500 to $5,000. It's the first time CORSA has increased their deductibles since its inception in 1987. While tornadoes are not the only reason for the price hike, experts say it is a major factor.
The trend will continue because the patterns are very clear. This wasn't just a 1-year or 2-year anomaly.
And even though the Appalachian region of Ohio is at less risk of experiencing a tornado, insurance is priced at the state level.
Even though one specific community may be a bit lower risk than other communities, the risk is spread across the state.
Now, what does this mean for you? To combat the rising costs of insurance, experts say you should shop your policy to find the best deal that you can get. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Noah Cavan, live in studio.
The Department of Homeland Security took another significant step in its takeover of FEMA's front office. DHS installed Homeland Security official Anthony Antognoli to serve as the Disaster Relief Agency's acting deputy administrator. That replaces the highest-ranking FEMA official left at the agency, leaving the most senior positions to those with little to no experience managing natural disasters. The latest change comes amid criticism the new leadership is not prepared for disaster response.
I know FEMA is taking this seriously, contrary to some of the reporting we have seen based on jokes that were made and leaks from meetings. But Secretary Kristi Noem and the FEMA leadership are all over this. They are committed to ensuring that federal resources and tax dollars are there for Americans in need.
Antognoli came from the Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office, as did the new acting head of FEMA, David Richardson.
Next, firefighters are still feeling the effects of the historic fires this year. What early signs are telling us about the health impacts?
PBS viewers believe that businesses that sponsor PBS on WOUB Public Television have a commitment to quality and excellence. Sponsoring a PBS television program offers your business a unique opportunity to connect with a highly engaged, loyal, and trustful audience in a clutter-free environment, leading to increased brand awareness, positive perception, and potential for higher customer engagement. Your sponsorship is important to the community, and the rewards come back to you in the form of loyal customers. Align your organization with America's most trusted news and public affairs network. WOUB Public Television is worthy of your trust. Contact Corporate Support Director Kathy Malesic at 740-593-4909 or online at woub.org/support.
It's the greatest spectacle on Earth.
This is a monster. It's a big one.
They'd all disappeared until now.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, President and CEO of PBS. Public television belongs to the American people, to viewers like you. But our service to your community is at risk because Congress is considering devastating funding cuts. We need your support now more than ever before. Please visit protectmypublicmedia.org to make your voice heard for your local station and the programs you love. Thank you.
After the devastating LA wildfire, Southern California is still clearing fire-ravaged neighborhoods. But with the flames gone, there's concerns about how these wildfires affected firefighters on the front lines. Maribel Gonzalez has more.
Los Angeles Fire Department Captain Jeff Brown took this video from Fire Station 69 in Pacific Palisades on January 8th.
I knew we were in for a battle.
This was just the beginning of what would become LA's most destructive wildfires. For weeks on end, firefighters worked to calm the flames.
All the plastics, all the metals, all the unknowns. That definitely poses some health concerns. And, a lot of us were pretty hurting in the lung category.
This wildfire exposure a concern for Captain Brown even months after the fires. And for pulmonologist Ashraf El Sayeg, whose own home burned in the Palisades fire. He opened this clinic at Providence St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, specifically to help residents and first responders.
These firefighters are exposed to first the fires, and then they're still there. They're working on the ground during the cleanup phase. So they are very exposed to toxins.
In the short term,
we're seeing a lot of pneumonias, a lot of bronchitis, sinus infections. We're still seeing, chronic cough, chronic shortness of breath.
but it could be years before we learn the health effects of LA's exposure.
We don't have these large disasters every day, so we're learning as we go. With the World Trade Center, the one thing we did learn is that we have to treat the responders, the victims, as early and as quickly as possible.
Reporting.
It may not seem like it, but mosquitoes are actually the world's deadliest animal, according to the CDC. Mosquitoes kill more people than any other creature and can carry several diseases, including malaria and yellow fever. Now that mosquito season is in full swing, experts say you need to be prepared.
There's a lot of things we can do to stop mosquitoes biting us. The first thing is to protect our homes.
Experts recommend using window screens, ceiling fans, and air conditioners. You should also remove standing water sources around your yard because that's where mosquitoes like to breed.
Still ahead, one of Southeast Ohio's very own takes his Lego building talents to the world stage.
President Bashar al-Assad has been brought down. Thousands of people celebrated.
The inside story of mass detention, torture, and killing, told by those who carried it out. And their victims.
ما بحسن يعني إنه يكون شادي عم يتعذب وأنا عم بسمع صوت المعذب.
ما بعرف كيف ممكن نتجاوز هالواقع وكيف بدنا نداوي جروحاتنا.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB. For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
Ohio University is the license holder for WOUB Public Media. The Ohio University Board of Trustees is fiscally responsible for the university and its activities. The trustees will hold their next meeting on Thursday and Friday, June 12th and 13th, on the Athens, Ohio campus of Ohio University. The members of the board are charged with the responsibility to be accountable to the institution's mission and cultural heritage, the transcendent values and principles that guide and shape higher education and the public interest, as well as the legitimate and relevant interest of the institution's various constituencies. Per Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22, meetings of the University Board of Trustees are open to the public, although some portions may be held in closed executive session. More information about the Board of Trustees, including the members, future meeting dates and locations, minutes of past meetings, or to sign up to receive notification of the posting of meeting materials, go online to woub.org and click on the About WOUB tab.
Calling all LEGO fans, 2025's LEGO Mini Master Model Builder, Bentley from Logan, Ohio, is taking the global stage.
He's shipping off his latest creation to compete in the first ever global Mini Master Model Builder competition. Bentley's build was inspired by Ohio, with references to space travel and Bigfoot. It will be on display at the Legoland Discovery Center in Columbus through June 30th. After that, it will be shipped off to Denmark to be judged against other countries' Mini Master Model Builders. The winner will be announced this fall.
Well, it sounds like it might be a good weekend to stay inside and build some Legos.
It absolutely is. If you want to do anything, it's probably going to be tonight while it's still staying pretty scattered. But again, tonight, pretty scattered showers. Tomorrow is when it becomes pretty widespread. And then after that, we're in for a pretty rainy weekend, and then even more on Monday. So we're going to be tracking this rain from now until at least the beginning of the work week next week. So we will be tracking that.
Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.